how you doing? So today I'm in Cambodia for the first time, in Siem Reap. I thought it would be fun to do a little first impressions video. So we'll go out and have some lunch, some dinner, try some things, typical Cambodian dishes, preferably. Talk about the prices, the currency situation here in the country, and maybe hit the pub street, look at some cool places, see what we can get up to. So in the next video I'll do Angkor Wat and the surrounding temples, but for now, first impressions. And I came in to Siem Reap in a tuk-tuk from the airport. It was pretty cool. I'm not sure if I would recommend that to most people because it was a bumpy ride and it was mostly highway, trying to avoid fast cars and buses. So for most people I would just recommend take the bus or a car to be comfortable and more smooth, faster. But it was fun, to be fair. And then when we came into Siem Reap, it was quite beautiful. It was in the night and lots of lights were on, lots of food stalls all around, street food. The river was beautiful. And overall, good experience. Anyway, let's start with a quick room tour and then head out for lunch. So first of all, I have this nice big balcony here in like a local neighborhood, away from the city center, but not far anyway. I can just still walk into town pretty easily. And then these glass doors into a pretty big room. I guess I should close this. There we go. Lots and lots of storage. And then double bed, a little bit hard, not the best, but okay. We've got a little workstation here. And then the bathroom. Fairly renovated, pretty good. Got a bathtub. And happy days. Let's head out for lunch. My first time trying Khmer food. This is a fish amok, they call it. Had it with rice. Didn't make it too spicy for me because, can't handle it as a foreigner. But let's give it a try. Amazing. It's like a curry. Still spicy for me, but super good. Thank you so much. This is a traditional Cambodian iced coffee with condensed milk. Let's try it. It's good. It's strong coffee and also quite sweet with the condensed milk. Super good combo. $1.50. Try it. Okay, so brief intermission here. I think we need to talk about the money. So, as you may know, Cambodia has two currencies, and I'm just referring to everything in US dollars right now. So you might be like, wait, Cambodia has their own currency. It's called the riel, Cambodian riel. And why don't you use that? Well, I, like many tourists and foreigners, use the dollar, the US dollar, for a reason. And I might talk about why, and there's some history behind it. So basically, in the 1970s, something horrible happened to this country, and you may have heard about it. It's called the Khmer Rouge. So we won't get into that story right now because that's a whole story for another day. But it had a huge impact on the monetary system because they basically didn't have a monetary system there in the 70s for a while under the rule of the Khmer Rouge. So that usually doesn't go well, I guess. But after these horrific atrocities, the Khmer Rouge were attacked by the Vietnamese at the end of the 1970s. So as they were abolished from Cambodia, we needed to have a monetary system again for the country. And they brought back the Cambodian riel, which, because they had the riel before the Khmer Rouge as well, so it was brought back. And then the value of the Cambodian riel, as they were restoring the nation, was 4 Cambodian riel to the $1. So they were just using that. And then in the efforts to restore the country, and people were obviously, after that period with the Khmer Rouge, a bit hesitant with the money, and they had been disrupted, and they needed to increase the circulation of money, the volume of money, so there was money printing. And as that was happening in the 1980s, the inflation was obviously rampant. That's what happens when you increase the amount of volume of money in a system like that. So eventually it came up to a value of 4,000 Cambodian riel to the $1. But because this currency was so volatile while restoring the country, for financial stability they needed something less volatile, more stable. So the US is basically the world currency, right? So they used the American dollar. They had been using the American dollar a bit before during this, volatile period, but people were a bit confused and distrusting about the currencies. So eventually, they didn't want more inflation and they wanted more stability and security, so they pegged the Cambodian riel to the US dollar at that rate of about 4,000 Cambodian riel to the $1. And that's what we have to this day. And that happened in the 1990s, I should say, Cambodian riel being pegged to the US dollar. So now what that means practically is in rural areas, you just use the Cambodian riel normally for everything. And in urban areas and tourist areas, like here, Siem Reap, where I am right now, you and I will probably be using US dollars. And if you go to an ATM, you can take out either Cambodian riel or US dollars, and then you use them to pay. But generally you would use US dollars. And then when you use them to pay, they have kind of gotten rid of the small US dollar notes, like the $1 note or the $5 note, because handling money physically in a nation actually takes quite a bit of resources and infrastructure. So when you need to transport that money and handle that money, all the banks, ATMs, etc., it adds up. And that's one of the motivations as to why they would take away the smaller US dollar notes out of the system and then use the Cambodian riel instead. Well, that makes a lot of sense as well, right, if you want to be a sovereign nation. But when you use the US dollar, they need to be quite crisp. Like this one is very good, right? Almost perfect. And the money you get in terms of US dollars when you go to an ATM is also in good shape. But if you go to some vendor, maybe a retail store or a restaurant, and try to pay with your US dollar, they have to be in good shape. And if they're not, maybe they're damaged or they have ink on them, something like that, makes them defect, they probably won't take your US dollar. Or, alternatively, they might take it, but at a reduced rate. So maybe it has a bit of damage. Maybe they estimate, oh yeah, okay, you can use that dollar bill, but it's 80%, of its former value now. This $10 note I have here is $8 in terms of that transaction. So be mindful of that. You need crisp dollars when making purchases here. So, and when you do make purchases with dollars, usually they will be higher than the actual value of the product. So when you get change in Cambodian riel. But don't worry, you can use that normally. 4,000 riel again to the $1 to buy your next thing, your next meal, whatever. So that's the reason why I refer to everything in US dollars here, because that's what I use as a currency. And then I also use the Cambodian riel when I get change. And then I can use that for smaller purchases. So that's good. Let's continue with the video, see what we can get up to.
Hello.
Hello. So here we got like a night market. All kinds of things. Bags, clothes, jerseys, little artifacts, wooden crafts, you know, souvenirs mostly, that you can bring with you. But this is pretty cool. Come here at night. Also some art. Not bad at all. Also, all along the river here, we got so many places to eat. It's kind of like Vietnam. Little plastic chairs you can pull up by the water. Have some street food, some real Khmer food. Speaking of which, let's go and try some Khmer food. And here we go. Here's the local bug vendor. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So this is Lạc Lốc or Lok Lak. I can never remember. But let's try it. Okay. Beef stew with rice and egg on rice with some veggies. Can't go wrong with that. Super good. Slightly spicy, slightly sweet. Really good. Alright. Today for lunch we had amok, and then for dinner we had lok lak. I hope I said that right this time. And it's just been very nice. Good first impressions. But let's see if there's something else we can get up to here. Come along. I think I'll cross the bridge again, cross the river, head to the pub street. Something I really like about Cambodia is how green it is everywhere. Just plants everywhere. And if you go to a restaurant, for example, there'll be plants all over. Speaking of green, but I think I'm onto something here. The pub street is up ahead. This seems like a fun place to be. I'm kind of full after having all that food today, but I'm sure I can find something. Like for instance, a 75-cent beer. I'll do what everybody else does here. Have a selfie with a sign. Pub street. And then I'll keep exploring. So a weird thing is that you'll see children walking around selling things. I don't know what to think about that. Is it early entrepreneurship or is it a little bit questionable? Anyway, let's explore. This is where you'll find a tuk-tuk if you need one. Just everywhere. Batman, not bad. Hope this is not copyright music. Thank you so much. Yes. went for the 75-cent beer. It's a local called Angkor in Cambodia, and I must say, easy to drink, quenches the thirst. Not that much flavor, but you know, great. Perfect for this climate. Hot and humid. Have an Angkor. Yeah, can't wait to explore Angkor as well. The whole park, but Angkor Wat and all the other temples. So, stay tuned for that. Cheers! I'm gonna head back to my hotel now, get some nice rest. I'd say good first impressions of Siem Reap. As I almost get hit while filming myself. These stupid vloggers, man. Just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I would love it if you subscribed, liked, comment. Maybe you have experiences from Siem Reap. I don't know. Do you like it too? Otherwise, see you in Angkor Wat.